Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
I'm Jerry Byrne. It's Irish Radio. I've been speaking to many people involved in Irish community, involved in news, involved in entertainment and the arts since lockdown. I've got a gentleman online now who truly has done an absolutely incredible job. He's a lobbyist and a consultant, and political activist, lobbyist and consultant. He's based in Kingscourt in County Cavan, and he has managed to get a huge reach of giving news and details all about COVID, all about the figures, all about what the government's rules are, and all of that. I'm delighted to say hello to Kristofer Shekleton. Kristofer, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Jerry. And yourself?
Yes, not too bad. Plodding through in the times that we've got. Tell me this: how did you? I mean, your Facebook page has become absolutely huge. People are actually getting the news about the restrictions, the news about the numbers of cases in not alone in the Republic of Ireland, but in Northern Ireland as well from your Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I seen it in February. I seen the virus coming across Europe, and I seen that there was very limited information on it. So I went and I studied what the virus was, and I spent hours upon hours studying and trying to find out, and I was learning at the same rate as doctors were learning. And I said, I need to provide people with these details. This is going to become a very serious subject, so I need to inform myself, and I also need to inform others. So that's what I did, and I just started posting through my Facebook page, and it took off from there. And it's been an incredible success over the last 6 months. And nobody else has been doing it, or very few others have been doing it as it transpired. So yeah, it's a very important service.
Indeed it is. Now the thing is that, and I've seen a couple of posts where people put that they are actually solely getting the details of the COVID reports, the restrictions, the laws, the regulations, the lockdowns, all the rest of it from you, and they're actually not going to any of the mainstream media, if we want to call it.
No, absolutely not. And it's incredible. It's actually mind-boggling how many people tell me that they do not have any dealings with mainstream media. They do not watch it. They don't look it up on their phones or their computers. They stay away from it. They don't want anything to do with it because they say they can't trust it, and they say it's not quick enough and it's not detailed enough. And if they do put an article together, that they can't understand it. So I break everything down for them, and I post it, and I keep doing that on a daily basis. And that's why they come to me, basically because it's straightforward information that they can understand, and it's broken down in a way that it's easy to read and easy to understand.
Indeed. Well, that's one of the things. I mean, you do a breakdown daily, which is very, very simple to understand. I mean, for example, one of the ones you put up of in Ireland, 253 cases. You say how many men, how many women, percentages under 45, over 45, numbers in each of the counties, and also you do like the 5-day average, 7-day average, 14-day average, etc. Plus the number of people in hospital with COVID and the numbers in ICU. Which it's all very simply done, but it's a huge amount of information there.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not. It takes an awful lot of work, and it does get frustrating at times, but it has to be done, and it's important that it gets out there, and it's important that it's clear and it's transparent, and that people get this information in a way that's suitable to them, because people aren't programmed to read parliamentary language or legalised language. They just want facts and figures, and that's what they want, and that's what I try to provide them with.
Yes, I'll have to say that's one of the actual factors that when I look at many news sites from around the world and Ireland, and I'll have to say that to be absolutely honest, I've actually checked on numerous occasions. And when new information has been found, new information launched, you actually had it long before mainstream media sites had anything about it.
Yeah.
Hours.
I was generally, in the beginning, 15-20 minutes ahead of all the mainstream media when the daily cases were being broken from the Department of Health. That has improved slightly to maybe 5 minutes now. I'm ahead of them 5 minutes, but it was as far back as 20 minutes that I was ahead of them, which is a huge amount of time for breaking news coming out of the Department of Health. I think it's utterly incredible that they were so far behind.
It is. It's astounding. I mean, in a world where you've got instantaneous news and the fact that you can now get news from the far side of the world in milliseconds, it seems very, very strange that the main news reporting organisations in Ireland didn't have those figures out fast.
Yeah, it's incredible. I really don't understand it. I have no idea why that's the case. I don't know if it's that they can't be bothered, or they don't have the staff, or the system isn't up to scratch. I don't know. But surely if I can do it, they can do it. That's the way I look at it.
Well, yes, I would have thought so. It does seem, I'll have to say, it does seem amazing. But another thing that's actually interesting is the information that you're putting up. It's not just alone on the Facebook page. There are WhatsApp groups created, and there's where there's a huge reach, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah, I didn't realise that until I was told by quite a number of people that they used, that they used my details on my page and they put them into WhatsApp groups, and I didn't know that at the time. And then a friend of mine who'd be very much into all the technical end of things, he told me that there's probably a reach of around 100,000 people going between Facebook and the details going out into WhatsApp groups. There's a reach of about 100,000 people.
I mean, that is absolutely astounding. I mean, that's there's no other sort of news source really that is getting to those type of numbers on one particular news story.
No, it doesn't look like it. It definitely doesn't look like it.
It's been truly incredible.
Go on ahead, Jerry.
It's been truly incredible, it's absolutely astounding figures. It really is, and it's a sign, I think, possibly of the world that we're living in. Things are different, and things have changed.
Yeah, and it's changing as we speak. The world is changing. It's constantly changing, and it's constantly it's getting worse at the moment, unfortunately. But it changes in milliseconds. You don't know what's coming. Every day. It's not good news that we're getting all the time, unfortunately, and that's going to be the case for many months and many months ahead, possibly years, because this isn't going away until we get a vaccine.
Yes.
So, we have to learn to live with it, and we have to deal with it, and we can't stop living our lives, but we also have to take extreme amount of caution too.
Well, indeed so, yes. We really are back to the days of the Spanish flu, from the late 1900s to 1920, or I should say the late teens to the 1920. Also, even the plague of the 1600s. We're talking along line terms like that. Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Yeah, they probably think the earliest time we can get a vaccine is next year, and that's the earliest. I don't think that's likely. I really don't. I think we're talking 3 or 4 years, to be quite honest. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's looking like 3 or 4 years, and that's if there is one. And I don't know, they don't seem to have come up with any evidence that you can have immunity to this virus. It doesn't look like that's the case. So it's they're very, very dangerous times ahead.
Indeed so. It's looking sort of very much like that. The only thing that's the light at the end of the tunnel that we can possibly see is that hopefully, fingers crossed, that there can be a vaccine for it somewhere or other.
Yes, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's going to stop this, and that we can actually get back to living our lives as normally as we can. But the normal we knew before is never going to be seen again. There are going to be so many changes, so many different that won't go back the way that they used to be. So we're going to be living in a completely different world. Like we've been living it for the last 6 months. Things are going to change. They're going to keep changing. So we don't really know what kind of a world we'll be living in. All we can do is take it day by day and see what happens, and hope that the numbers of fatalities stay low. That's all we can do is hope.
Indeed, that is the only thing, and use common sense. And then there's a small body of of people out there who kind of think that it doesn't exist somehow, and and that a mask can be dangerous to your health, and all of this sort of rubbish being thrown into the mix as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very dangerous element of society, and thankfully it's a minority in society, but they're a very noisy a number of people, and they are gaining a little bit of traction, albeit small. Thankfully, it's small, but it's a very, very dangerous mindset that they hold, that this virus is a hoax, that wearing your mask is going to infect you, that we're all being locked down, that our freedoms are being taken away. It's utter lunacy. It's complete garbage that they're talking. And what they're doing is they're playing right into the government's hands to tighten restrictions, which has to be done if we're going to control this virus. But it's they themselves who are causing a lot of the problem and spreading this virus. So the more they do, and the more they protest, the more they're going to move the virus around, and the more that the restrictions are going to be tightened.
Indeed, that actually is the is the ironic part of it, and the sad part of it, and indeed it's being borne out, all the time, and as we've seen in the USA, where you've got this on a larger scale than you have in Europe, and the deaths are absolutely horrific in the US. Yeah,
it's crazy what's happening in the US, and they can't seem to get any control on it at all. I don't know if that's a mixture of that it went too far and they can't pull it back, or that there is no urgency there. I don't know which the problem is, but they're in very serious bother there, very serious.
Indeed, it's very, very difficult to know how how the whole thing will pan out of it. I mean, all of this has. I actually noticed one day recently, within this past couple of weeks, there was a period of hours you weren't actually on Facebook, and people were wondering actually what was wrong. But it turned out you made a comment that said you had been away, so you weren't actually able to do it. So it just shows how much people are actually depending on you for this information.
Absolutely, yeah. I went away just to have a little break. I went to Malahide, and I forgot to post, whether my ignorance or pardon that term, or what it was. I completely forgot to tell people that I wasn't going to do the numbers or anything, and I had about 40 messages the next morning. People asking me, was I okay? Is everything all right? And yeah, there was a lot of people wondering where I was, and that they were relying on it. But it was only one night that I missed. That's all. Thank God.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you can't be doing that again. People definitely will not be pleased.
No, I won't be doing it again. And if I am going away, I'll make sure that I update my numbers when I'm away. Yeah. I'll not be letting people down.
Exactly. Well done, Kristofer. This has been lovely. It really has. Lovely to catch up with you, and well done on all you've done, and indeed, well done on keeping everybody informed of the whole situation. It's been a lifeline to just so many people, and long may you continue, and stay safe and stay well. Lovely to catch up with you.
Thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing the recording, and thanks a million. And keep safe, stay well, and to all your listeners out there, please stay safe. Please do as you're being asked to do, and protect your communities, and just live your life as best as you can, but take precautions all the time.